Monkeys in a Pod is powered by Parkinson's UK, the charity that's here to support every Parkinson's journey every step of the way. Wherever you're from, whatever you need, visit parkinsons.org.uk for more information.
Happy birthday to me, happy birthday to me, happy birthday dear David, happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday, Dave. It's actually the day after, but you celebrated, didn't you, at the weekend?
I did. I wanted a nice quiet one, it ended up a quite a loud one, so...
With tequila shots at 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, ridiculous. What's going on there?
Yeah. Tell us, what does it feel like? The big 6-0, right?
I felt a bit strange when I woke up in the morning. I thought I'm 60. Because I remember when I was a kid, meeting a 60-year-old, you're always quite respectful, weren't you? They're quite an old person. But I don't feel old. My body feels a bit old occasionally, but because of the Parkinson's. But, you know, I've been diagnosed with Parkinson's a quarter of my life now, which is crazy. 15 years. When you've got Parkinson's, I don't know whether you should celebrate the passage of time. I like to live in the moment. But I pulled myself together, had a great day, and, you know, I'm 60 now. There's nothing I can do about it. Time and tide, as the great bard said.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, 60 years on this planet, it's pretty good going. We've had 15 prime ministers in your lifetime. Did you know that, Dave?
Wow, I didn't know that. Was that in the last 2 years?
Yeah, exactly. Most of them have been during the course of this podcast, actually. Do you know what some of the headlines were on your birthday, Dave?
Go on.
On your actual day. So, The Yellow Submarine, a classic Beatles hit, was released to the world. The World Cup was stolen, not metaphorically as it is these days, but the actual World Cup, if you remember.
Jules Rimet Trophy.
Yeah, exactly.
And the dog found it in the end.
The dog, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And the Lunar Orbiter 1 was launched into space by NASA. So this is pre-moon landing, the precursor to the moon landing. So that's pretty good going, right?
Yeah, you know, England winning the World Cup in my year, 1966. Great year for English football. You know,
yeah,
haven't done it since.
No, got pretty close this time, but...
I've decided a bit of a change of attitude now I'm 60 as well.
All right.
There's a lot of people saying they fight Parkinson's and battle against Parkinson's, and I've got Parkinson's, but Parkinson's hasn't got me, all that.
All this to Parkinson's, yeah.
That's Parkinson's, all that, yeah.
Yeah.
So I've decided to go with the flow a bit more. I likened it to a big boulder rolling down a hill. If it's rolling towards your house, you can either sit there, do nothing, and it rolls and smashes your house to bits, or you can stand in front of it and try and stop it, but it'll roll over you and your house. So I think the best way to live life is just run alongside the rock a bit, nudge it now and again, bit of exercise, bit of good living. But if you nudge it enough, it'll just miss the house. So that's what I'm thinking now.
Is this a rock and roll analogy, Dave?
Oh, no. A rolling rock analogy. Go with the flow a bit more, you know.
I think we, all of us, one has to go with the flow a bit more because, like we keep saying on this podcast, there's a certain inevitability with Parkinson's, right? There is no fighting the progression of the disease, unfortunately. No. It is just a fact. How you deal with it is a completely different matter, as you're saying. Yeah, roll with it. I like that. What I liked about your celebration, Dave, in the pub the other night for your 60th, when you had all your friends and family over. By the way, it was really nice to see you and the boys together and having a few drinks. That was really sweet. But also, it was just like a friendly, safe space, wasn't it? Obviously, everyone's known you for years, and you know, everyone knows about your condition, everything. You don't have to explain it. You just felt you seemed relaxed. You seemed in your element, in a safe zone, right? Surrounded by love, and it was very nice to see.
It felt very comfortable, you know. I didn't want to do to start with, and then we decided we're going to have a little bit of a do. We had this cabana thing, and just had a few drinks, and that was fine. Yeah, got a bit out of hand at the end, but you know, it was good. The very thirsty lot, my friends. What have you been up to anyway, apart from going to my do and not drinking tequila?
Everything seems quite dull in comparison. I can't match that. I had my regular neurology appointment, which is pretty uneventful, which these days is good. It's going to look well, and I'm doing well, and I'll take that. And afterwards, I stayed on for one of those research sessions where I was wearing a swimming cap to read my brain waves and just stand there, or sit there rather, for a few hours at a time.
Was there much going on there?
There was a little bit going on there, but I got free waxing as a result because they had to attach stuff to my chest as well, and they pulled it off and took a bunch of chest hair with it. So that bit was paid for. The rest of it was fine, to be honest. I don't want to put anybody off research, particularly in the DBS world, because as we heard from the last episode, there's a lot of great things happening in that space, and it was an honour to take part.
Did you drive there? You've been driving a bit, haven't you?
Didn't drive there, but yeah, been driving a bit more, which is a bit weird because I hadn't been driving very much at all. To be honest, it's the only place with air conditioning. So in the current spate of hot weather, it's been quite pleasant to get in the car. Normally, I don't like the traffic and roads and just being in a car generally, but today it's a nice respite from the hot weather, and it's just a sign of independence, isn't it? Driving, right? It's a big thing, right?
I don't drive much now, but still got my license if I need it in an emergency. But I'm frightened, if I do something wrong, I don't want to hurt anybody or anything like that. So it's a balancing act, isn't it?
It's a balancing act.
You know when you can drive, you know when you can't. So
yeah, exactly. And normally people know when they get diagnosed with Parkinson's, but our guest today, it wasn't very clear, was it, Dave?
No. This is a fascinating story. A guy called Mike Bell. What happens when you're diagnosed with Parkinson's and then later told you haven't got Parkinson's? Quite a bit later as well. Here's his story. Mike Bell, a very warm welcome to Two Parkies in a Pod.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Just tell us a bit about yourself.
Right, okay. I'm 62 years old, I think. I'm freelance. I work for myself. I have done for many, many years. I design stuff. So I design shows, installations, exhibitions, experiential stuff. Sounds fabulous, but it's really quite deadline driven. And in lockdown, when all that disappeared for a while, so I designed data maps of band lineups, basic studio albums. Every single person who appeared on an album, from band members through to session musicians, through to hand clapping dogs. So I do both jobs now. So I'm a sort of multitasking 62-year-old. Doesn't know any better.
Can we just rewind back to 8 years ago? Was it?
Yeah.
Was it a tremor that took you to see a doctor?
It was, yeah. So I'd been working, I don't now because I've learnt my lesson, but I used to do ghosters. So I'd be designing through the night. I had an expensive family to keep going, but I was working my little bottom off very hard, designing stuff for people, quite often going without enough sleep, going without rest, stress, etc. Started to develop tremors, mild tremor, but also there was pain. And yeah, it was the main thing. Grip started to go a bit. I did some cricket stuff. I couldn't release the ball. The communication thing, that sort of. Yeah. Which is all little things are happening. Nothing major. So we went down that route of finding out what was wrong with me, which obviously is a very long process.
Where did you originally get your diagnosis from? From whom? Was it a neurologist or?
Okay, so neurologist back then at Haywards Heath. Lovely chap. We went through so many things to find out what it was. And it was the physical stuff that the scans never showed anything.
So you went to the neurologist. He did a series of tests, physical, clinical tests on you, like tapping, fingertips, thumb, nose, walking.
Did all that stuff. Yeah, no, I had scans.
Oh, you had scans as well? And then he told you you had Parkinson's?
Yeah. Ultimately, he said, this can only ever be confirmed if you had your brain sliced open, sort of story. We got an insurance payout and, it made some people happy, and I just carried on working.
So you got a medical payout, did you? You got a cash lump sum from your work?
Yeah, which paid for another window in the extension. I had to carry on working. I had no choice. I was told.
Fair enough.
Can you remember your emotions when you got told you've got Parkinson's?
Well, yeah, I was being told, when you have that diagnosis, right, you've got good 8 to 10 years. It's a line, isn't it? That's what they say. You've got good 10 years and you bug it. And this was a mantra I was kept being told by everyone, not everyone, by certain people around me, where you've only got a short time left of being able to do this stuff. And you start thinking, oh God, I've got Karen working, I've got a family support. Started looking into eye control computers and stuff. I was on the drugs. I was put onto the drugs. I saw the nurse 3 times, I think, in the entire time. She disappeared after the second year. I feel really sorry for anybody who's going into this drug control. GP doesn't want to get involved. Consultant you hardly ever see unless you're very rich. So you will need a PD nurse. Mine disappeared. So I was then relying upon young Parkinson's to understand what was going on, the support groups. So I was on levodopa. I had slow release patches, really nauseous, really could control those. And again, I had no nurse to say, okay, let's try this, let's try that now. I was waiting every 3 or 4, 5 months.
And what was the time between you noticing your symptoms, your tremor, your pain, and that Parkinson's grip that you described and actually getting the diagnosis? Sounds like it was quite a short period, or did it go on for months?
Yeah, I mean, I had lots of tests for other things as well. I've had cameras in every end because of the pain I was having. And back then they say, well, Parkinson's doesn't include pain. They were saying back then. And how much of it was stress? How much of it was induced by what I was being told anyway? I don't know. And that whole expectation effect thing, whereby nocebo, placebo.
Yes.
How much of this was being created by the environment I was in suddenly?
Can you just tell me back then, what was your feeling when he told you had Parkinson's?
A mad sense of relief that I'd
Strange,
eventually,
isn't
because
it?
I had so many different things that it's got a name. I knew hardly anything about it. It's the usual story, isn't it? It's old man's, old woman's.
But at least
illness.
you could put a name to it, right?
And get treated and get looked after and have my symptoms managed and be in an environment whereby you're going to be, more positive experience. Now you've got a name for it.
What happened then after that? Because you went on with life and you almost, like you said, you reached out to various support groups and you immersed yourself in the Parkinson's community, right?
Yeah, I I heard this David Sangster on Jeremy Vine being interviewed. I got in touch with him. These are the early days of Twitter when it was nice. People like that and the young Parkinson's groups. At the same time, I had a busy life. I'm freelance, self-employed. I had to carry on working.
Yeah. Just went on with life.
Yeah, which which you've got to do as well, haven't you?
You've got to do it. You've got to pay the bills and all that. I read also that you went to World Parkinson's Congress as well.
Yeah, and this is it now. I've done that stuff. I did a parachute jump for it as well. I did some walks. It's like
fundraising.
You suddenly feel like, hey.
Did you make any major life decisions because of our diagnosis
back then?
Back then, yeah.
I had them kind of forced on me. I ended up divorced.
Was that because of the Parkinson's, do you think?
It's one of those things, and you kind of look back, well, it was for the best, I ended up doing the maps, and getting involved in that because I needed to keep my brain going. It was this daily exercise for my brain, which I was really scared of losing.
So none of that would have happened if you didn't have that original diagnosis?
No. I might be living in France or somewhere and beat an escape before Brexit because that was one of the plans. Because I can work from anywhere in the world. So, but because of the whole having to be looked after, I didn't want to lose that. So that's one thing I didn't do, which was live abroad. Which sounds really pompous, but I could have done. There's lots of compromises. We all know that.
Did it change life day to day?
Yeah, because I was in such a state physically and mentally. I was on the stick at one stage. I was so, and the drug mess was horrible. So you're in that cycle, and that cycle will go down no matter what you try and do, how positive you stay, because the physicality side of it. And I think because of the stresses I was under, it elevated that other things.
Can I pry a little bit about your marriage that ended then? And you say,
oh yeah, if you're going down this route with any illness, you look for people around you who are going to be there for you, no matter what. And it puts a lot of pressure on a lot of people, kids, whatever, as well. And that was the horror side of it for me, was the way that it all distorted, whatever good came out of it in the long term. That was the worst side of it for me, was relationships and stuff.
And how did your kids react?
Kids always have been really supportive. The kids have been fantastic, and that's the beauty of this when you have children, isn't it? You cock up and they sort of get grumpy with you, but they're still there for you no matter what. So that's the beauty of that relationship, isn't it? Yeah.
You must have felt very lost at that time. Parkinson's, divorce, the financial implications of that and everything. That must have been a very lonely place.
Yeah, it was. And this is just before lockdown as well. And I was working for myself as well. I mean, so suddenly, there's this vacuum. I'd ended the marriage, lost a load of work, and I was alone. But there was a sense of relief as well. And I was still diagnosed. I was still on the drugs. But I could take control of that environment because I was in an environment I then made the decision to come off the drugs.
And you made that decision yourself. It wasn't your medical team suggesting that you came off. So what prompted you to come off the drugs, if I can ask, Mike?
I had a conversation with my consultant. Sounds like I saw loads of him. This is like once a year. I saw my consultant and I said, look, I want to do this. They're not working and there's something's going wrong here. Coming off them, it was a slow, long process. I didn't feel better or worse. Therefore, that's a good thing. I then embraced more, rather than thinking the drugs are the thing you can do it, I embraced more the sort of better sleep patterns, better diet, those sort of things that really make a difference with or without any kind of illness when you're getting older. There's things we should do anyway.
Yeah.
And over time, it's only the past year that I've noticed now that, I don't have the excruciating pains down my leg, because I used to get my toes, my hands used to lock up really badly,
Yes.
all stuff like that.
Was it the fact that you weren't reacting to the drugs what made you initially question the diagnosis then?
Yeah.
So I think some of those, the clawing of the hands and it sounded like some of that might have been levodopa induced. Did you have any other side effects of the medication for this?
Nausea.
Any neuropsychiatric, any compulsive, impulsive behaviour?
It certainly made me slightly psychotic. That sounds really dreadful, but some of my other behaviours, I look back on then and how I reacted to things, were not me. And so I did some silly things, a couple of silly things, and it's like, why? And once I was clear of the drugs and stuff, the drugs aren't bad. They're great for people with Parkinson's. I'm not anti-drug, but they're not great for people without Parkinson's.
A thought that comes into my head as you're describing the nature of your work, and I've seen some of the maps and stuff that you produce. Very impressive, by the way. A lot of detail in there. I'm putting 2 and 2 together, and I might be getting 5, but there are certain compulsive behaviours that are known to be a side effect of Parkinson's medication that cause things like, we talked about punding on our previous episode. Punding is collecting items, or you have a certain slight sort of OCD type of tendencies.
Yeah.
Did your map stuff, for example, start after you started taking the Parkinson's drugs? Do you think that's connected at all?
Yeah. The maps were very much a response to keeping my brain going. So I'm still worried about that side of things as I age anyway. Whether or not, and they're very much on the spectrum, aren't they? But I think I'm on the spectrum anyway. I design great detailed shows and stuff. I have to worry about, literally this morning I've been designing an exhibition stand, and I'm worrying about how the cabinet's going to be built. My client doesn't give a damn, but I'm worried that the doors are well. It's only a visual. There's an aspect of creativity to Parkinson's, people with Parkinson's.
That's right.
How much of it is, and that's an interesting. I don't know if there's been any research on that, or whether or not we become more creative when we have this diagnosis, because we still have the capacity to create, or is it a thing? Is it a thing where your brain is responding to a disconnection by trying to reconnect elsewhere by being creative?
Perhaps,
where is that? I find that very interesting.
It is a fascinating topic, but I think the conclusion is, from the limited research that there is on this subject, is that most of it is a side effect of Parkinson's medication more generally. That's why, hence the question. Maybe that contributed to your existing behaviours and creativity, as it has done in my case, but and it's not necessarily a bad thing. But what happened next then? So you stopped taking the medication, and then you went to see a different doctor. Is that right?
I stopped taking medication. COVID happened anyway, so it's a whole isolate. Nothing much happened with anybody seeing anybody. I was then invited back in to see a new neurologist, and first time I saw him, which was a few years ago, he said, we need to do some more tests. He said, you've got something, but we need more tests. So I had another DAT scan down there. And then it came back saying there wasn't anything showing. There's never showing much before. And a year later I see him and he says, look, we just don't think you've got Parkinson's. It could be fibromyalgia. It could be vitamin deficiency. It could be anything, And years ago, as a young man, I'd suffered with an ME type phase where I'd gone through unable to move, unable to function, literally happened overnight. And that was in a stress environment. Work was horrible. And, you wonder what, because they said fibromyalgia, I imagine you thought, what, ME? Is it something like that? But it's not, it wasn't the same. It isn't the same as that. This is very much, I have the physical stuff.
Can I just rewind? You originally had a DAT scan 8 years ago.
Yeah.
What was the result of the original DAT scan? Nothing
showing, nothing obvious.
And yet you were given a diagnosis of Parkinson's, even though a DAT scan result was inconclusive.
I was told it's possible that sometimes they won't show anything, but you can still be diagnosed.
Okay, and do you think because it was COVID time and you weren't seeing the consultant regularly enough during this period that you didn't have to follow up, and you didn't? Because normally when you're newly diagnosed, like I said, you go on the medication. At least at some point, they'll see how you're responding to your medication, maybe after 6 months.
Yeah, no, I'd had follow-ups on the drugs, and this is where we ended up going onto patches and stuff and other solutions. but nothing was really
Nothing.
hitting home. You worry about your diet, you worry about all the proteins and stuff.
What was that moment like when you told? I don't think it's Parkinson's. Is it relief? Is it frustration? Is it both? How did you feel when he told you?
Absolutely, absolutely annoyed. Not at them, not at my original consultant.
No animosity, no anger to your original consultant?
No, I'm more annoyed about the letters he wrote to my GP, which just didn't relay the sort of information I thought I was getting across, which is fine. There was a quality issue there, which is because I'm on the spectrum. There was relief, but not knowing what it is, and then they're just using this. It could be this, it could be that. So there's a neurological thing going on, and of course, when you're in your first diagnosis, you try to trace back what could have caused this. Now, I've got so many things that could have caused it from working in agriculture around pesticide environment. It could be induced by sleep disturbances, which they're sort of looking at now. We're coming all back to that now, and it's just like, well, all those things could have caused what I've got, which is a vague neurological thing. We've all going to struggle with our environments now, the mess it is, and we're just all going to end up on neurological stuff with less names.
Was the D diagnosis harder to cope with than the original diagnosis?
Yeah. I mean, I hope everybody has to go through this. I really do. And that's, I shouldn't be complaining about it in the slightest, but the D diagnosis was, it's, I felt like a fraud. That's what it did to me. I felt shamed. And I've only just recently been in contact because of the Guardian article recently that people have, who I've known for years come back to me and said, no, it's fine, don't worry about it. There's a sense of shame.
A fraud in what respect?
Well, because I was involved in the community and talking to people about stuff and being involved in it, and having stuff published about it, to then find that that's not the case. And I think there's a sense of grief, of loss, which is, again, sounds weird, doesn't it? But because I was never one who really embraced it. I got involved,
but you had it. You had it, and you no longer have it now, as it were. Yeah. At least in terms of in your mindset.
Yeah, I mean, I've now got something which I can't claim. I don't know what I've ever done, but I can't claim benefit. We used to call it a parky perk. I could get through the queues at the runways. Of course.
So you described yourself as a fraud. Did you return the medical payout?
You ask my ex-wife. I don't have it.
Oh, all right. Fair enough. Don't worry. We won't dob you into to anyone. But that said,
I don't. They can come coolly. I'll gladly give them.
Yeah, no,
it's long gone.
I mean, but none of this is your fault, though, right? I mean,
no, and this is it, isn't it? It's mad. It's absolutely mad that we can. Oh, thank God we can laugh about it, but it's. I could be negative about it. I'm not going to be. Why don't you sue the NHS? No, this is how it works. This is life. But I walked out that neurological department, and it was a reset. It was a new start. It's like wow, and it's taken a long. And it's like, as I said, it's like grief because it takes a long time to adjust to. Not grief because I'm sad, but grief because of a loss. Not a loss of something you want, but a loss of something you've been part of. And yes, I was involved. Yeah. And yes, the people I met through it were wonderful people. I remember going for dinner once up in London with Sangster and half a dozen people from Parkinson's, and there's a whole group of us there. And we sat at this table, and they're all there with their wonderful sort of differences, with their wonderful different state of Parkinson's. And I looked around at these people, and I thought, it's like having a table of superheroes, which sounds really mad, but they have each of them has their own heightened character of being. There's an element of like, yeah, these people are something special, and I'm no longer part of that. If that makes any sense at all, I'm not part of the Marvel universe anymore.
You're no longer part of that, but there must have been elements of celebration. You must come out at some stage and go, yes, bloody hell, I've got it.
Of course
Fantastic.
I do, Dave. Yeah, of course I do. Yeah, and I am so lucky. I am so lucky, and I'm still trying to work it out.
But it sounds like that's coupled with a sense of guilt as well, right?
That's what tempers it. It's that sense of guilt.
You're writing poems about it and stuff, weren't you?
I was writing one a day, so I was going to write 10,000 poems. And the idea again was behind protecting my brain. So if I wrote 10,000 poems, one a day, it'd mean I'd be 85 years old and still compos mentis, because that was proof. Each day I was publishing it there and there. That's come to a grinding halt. So again, there's a bit of me. I was enjoying that. I should still do it, because I still need to stay sane until I'm 85. And that was great because, I got published out of that as well, in collections and stuff, but I never really, I did things I wouldn't have done before, that's for sure. Yeah.
And met people great people, like you said,
met people.
heroes that you wouldn't have met before.
Absolutely. And been absolutely humbled by how you guys just, things like this, things still happen,
It's a pretty cool community, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm not allowed in it.
They'd welcome you with open arms, Mike.
Can we open a subsection of Not Quite Parkinson's?
Yeah, I think you might be the only person in it because I've never come across this before.
No, don't say that. No, I've been assured there's lots of me's. There's lots of me's out there.
So, I mean, but what now though? Because you are left in a bit of limbo, aren't you? You've got this unknown condition that we know is kind of vaguely neurological.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Yeah, I've got something. But I cope with it by vitamin inputs, rest. Sleep was my biggest killer during that period. But I sleep really well now. I stop eating on my days when I do it about 5-ish. So I'm not moving food from my body at night. So, and I'm engaged with work and getting things done. I've got a great relationship.
Is there a next step in terms of more tests or more scans or different medication? I mean, the neurologists just left it, have they?
I've basically been left on my own devices. So I've ended up, vitamin deficiencies is one thing that's come out at the back of it. And there's so many things, when you've got a diagnosis, another thing is you say, okay, that's Parkinson's. So I was having so many skin issues, prickliness, horrible skin issues.
Which can be a thing in Parkinson's.
Exactly. So I thought it was a thing in Parkinson's, a nerve-ending thing. I had a vitamin deficiency. But I was putting off having things looked at because of Parkinson's bubble. So that's one thing I think we've got to be aware of.
It's not an exclusive relationship we have with Parkinson's, but we are unfortunately susceptible to other things, right? Other ailments.
Yeah, so I think it's well worth it when you're, to keep an eye on keep an eye on all those things, get your vitamins checked. Because I was keeping out the sun. I was worried about skin cancer issues. So I was never going out in the sun, always covered up. Therefore, you're not getting enough sunlight. Therefore, you're going to have a deficiency. So those sort of things as well, which is hopefully, I haven't seen a Parkinson's nurse for so long. Hopefully, that sort of thing that Parkinson's nurses would talk about is the balance, is not just putting it down to the one diagnosis, but keeping an open mind.
The thing that strikes me most, Mike, in this story and hearing you speak is you've got no sense of resentment at all. You've got no animosity or any ill feeling towards, like you said, the NHS or your original consultant. And you seem to be taking the positives away from it as well about living well.
I'm lucky to have it, aren't I? I'm so lucky to have that. That's why you can't bear grudges. And, the NHS has done me so much good.
Good for you.
And I don't think it made a mistake. I don't think it had the tools. We don't have the tools and the knowledge about Parkinson's.
It's difficult. Yeah.
It's a bit like those people who are sent to prison and then get out and find they're not guilty,
God, yeah. No, it's exactly that. Exactly that. But, in my prison, I was hanging out with some really nice dudes and I miss them,
Yeah. I think...
Some good cellmates.
I think the difference there is that those individuals knew they weren't guilty, whereas Mike, he was given a diagnosis of Parkinson's, and you can only go by what the neurologist said. It was only through his own endeavours that he experimented, came off the meds, and that led to a second revelation that he doesn't have Parkinson's, but he has this mysterious illness which still has serious symptoms associated with it. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say just, you do what your PD nurse says, you do what your consultant says, you don't come off the drugs. That's not, I'm not anti-drug.
Has that original neurologist been back in touch with you?
No, I haven't seen, he retired. So, he's officially out of the picture. He was very well respected, he was doing his utmost best, to get me through it. And his experience was fabulous, and support after I was living alone was brilliant. No one to blame. No one to blame.
What lessons have you learned from all this then? And what lessons do you think people who are newly diagnosed with Parkinson's could learn from this?
Don't let that diagnosis change how you are don't let it reprogram you. And that's a dreadful word to use, reprogram, but don't let the expectation, you've only got a good 10 years left. Don't let that be a thing. You don't have a good 10 years left. You have more. You have your life ahead. And it's easy for me to say, but that's what it is. You have a life still. You've got this one go. Yes, you've got a diagnosis. Yes, it's awful. Yes, a pain. Yes, all the little bits that nobody sees, but you have to put up with. But don't let that alter you as much as you can for as long as possible. And keep hope. Keep hope.
What a remarkable story, right, Dave?
I'm amazed how calm he is about it. I might have been quite angry if that happened to me.
I think me too, yeah.
He was part of the community now. Went to World Parkinson's Congress, all that sort of stuff. He's amazingly relaxed about it, considering what he's been through. Hell of a story.
I think he's more embarrassed than bitter. It was my impression. What was the word he used? A fraud, right? I've heard of people that have had their Parkinson's diagnosis upgraded to something more serious, and I've heard of people have had it downgraded to something slightly less serious, like an essential tremor. I've never heard of somebody that's been diagnosed with Parkinson's and almost a decade later effectively being told, well, you don't have Parkinson's, or they don't know what he's got, rather, which, I don't know, it's a pretty remarkable story. But, he's reacted positively, let's say.
Yeah, he's reacted brilliantly. He's got to get on with his life now. He's got a vitamin deficiency, which could explain some of the things he had wrong with him, skin problems and that sort of thing. Remarkably cool and calm and collected after what's been a hell of a journey for him.
And taking the positives from it as well. And there's some lessons for all of us there.
Met some great people along the way. He described a table of superheroes, didn't he? With David Sankster and all his mates.
Very sweet, wasn't it?
Very sweet, yeah.
And it's very true as well, right? We have to put up with a lot. So it's glad that he recognises it. And he's very much welcome to continue to be a member of this exclusive, not so exclusive club these days, right?
Exactly. He's an amazing person.
Oh!
Oh!
I sense what you're doing there, Dave. Do you have any more amazing people by any chance?
We do. Amazing people doing amazing things.
Come on then, let's hear it.
People with Parkinson's do amazing things.
Kieran Booth and his partner Lucy Pickersgill have set off on their round-the-world cycle ride. They're hoping to raise £50,000 for Sport Parkinson's. Kieran's mum Annie has the condition and has been helped by the charity.
Good morning.
This is day one of cycling around the world.
It's been a pretty hectic morning so far, reshuffling tins of tuna. Sun's out, head is shaved.
I actually can't fathom how heavy the bikes are right now.
Thank you to everyone for all your support so far. Thank you to all of our sponsors for getting us to the start line. And a massive thank you to Sport Parkinson's. We can't wait to share your amazing organisation around the world.
And thank you to Mum and Dad for housing and feeding us for the past 6 months.
It's been a long time in the making and the start of a 1.5 year journey around the globe. 30 countries, 30,000 kilometres, £50,000 for Sport Parkinson's.
I'm scared. Bike is heavy.
Let's go.
Oh, what a great story.
Wonderful, wonderful. They appeared on our podcast, 12 Amazing People, a few episodes back, if you want to go back and listen to their plans to travel and conquer the world. Who's next, Dave?
People with Parkinson's do amazing things.
The singer-songwriter Carly Simon has bravely come out about her Parkinson's diagnosis.
Yeah.
She says she's slowly learning how to live with the condition. Carly is best known for songs You're So Vain, Why, and Coming Round Again.
Yeah, that was quite emotional, right? The way that she came out and the way that she talked about particularly some of the non-motor symptoms, like apathy particularly. And of course, she's a big name. I didn't realise how big a name she was until actually then the story came out, and I knew the songs, but I didn't realise how big she was, right?
Carly Simon, the singer known for Nobody Does It Better and other hits, has been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. In a statement to the Associated Press on Monday, the 83-year-old shared her journey of learning to live with the condition. She had experienced arthritis and underwent joint replacement surgeries, but her mobility continued to decline. After an evaluation at the Mayo Clinic, she received the Parkinson's diagnosis. Simon also revealed she was treated for basal cell carcinoma on her face. Despite health challenges, music has been a solace. She will release Comes in Waves, her first album of original songs since 2008, in August.
I think the more celebrity status people have, the more the message is going to get out there, isn't it? Because the social media days these days and all that. She's
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I feel for anyone getting diagnosed, but from a purely selfish point of view, it's going to help the cause, isn't it? So, welcome is all I can say. Yeah.
Speaking of helping the cause,
People with Parkinson's do amazing things.
journalist and author Rory Kethlin-Jones made the Radio 4 appeal on behalf of Parkinson's UK. He was highlighting the work of specialist Parkinson's nurses and aiming to raise funds to employ more. Well done, Rory.
Well done. I thought he looked and sounded great. And a great message, of course.
I'm Rory Kethlin-Jones, and this Sunday, the 19th of July, I'll be on BBC Radio 4 for a reason very close to my heart: Parkinson's nurses. I have access to a brilliant Parkinson's nurse who is always available to answer those tricky questions about issues from medication to nutrition and exercise. She's worth her weight in gold. 166,000 people are living with Parkinson's around the UK, and over 28,000 people with Parkinson's across the UK have little or no access to a Parkinson's nurse. This means no one on hand to ask for specialist advice, no one to provide support and guidance on how to access other crucial services. I'll be presenting the Parkinson's UK Radio 4 appeal on the 19th of July, the charity here to support every Parkinson's journey every step of the way. Their nurse appeal is providing initial funding for new nurse posts and specialists, Parkinson's training and education for healthcare professionals, while continuing to advocate for great care everywhere. No one should live with Parkinson's without specialist care. With your help, we can make sure thousands more people get the support they need. So tune into Radio 4 on the 19th and 23rd of July to hear more about the appeal. Any donation you can give, big or small, will make a real difference to the lives of people with Parkinson's and their families. And for that 1 week only, you'll also have the chance of your donation being doubled. Thank you.
People with Parkinson's do amazing things.
Now to a Parky who's written a book about cricket. Adam J. Bramall's Still at the Crease charts his Ashes journey, explains the outbreak of joy of touring with England as an England cricket fan with Parkinson's. It looks a really good read, this. Got some great reviews already.
Yeah, it seems like an interesting character. Well done, Adam. Well done.
People with Parkinson's do amazing things.
And finally, Wendy Cox has posted on Facebook about her husband who's been DJing at the Ministry of Sound.
Oh, really?
He was diagnosed 9 years ago and says they're off to Ibiza in September. She doesn't say her husband's name, though, in the piece, which is a shame. But Wendy Cox's husband, Mr. Cox, you're a star. Keep on DJing.
Can I just give another shout out for some of the events that are coming out in the next
few
weeks? Do it. Right. If you're in a walking mood, or even if you're not, come along to the Battersea Park walks. There's one coming up on Saturday, 5th of September, organised by Parkinson's UK. That's the annual event that Dave and I go to. You coming, Dave, to that one?
Yeah, I'm going to come, yeah.
Yeah, come along,
It's always
listeners.
good fun, isn't it? It's
always good fun. It's always very warm atmosphere, and it's a nice day out. It's a lovely day out. Also this year, on the Sunday, the 11th of October, Cure Parkinson's is doing a walk, also from Battersea Park. There's more options there. There's a 5K and a 10K walk as well. And details in the show notes. But come and join us and come and join the community for what will be some very inspirational days. And if that's not enough, then ParkOn, of course, in Birmingham, the annual Parkinson's UK research event, that's difficult to say, is taking place on 13th to 14th of November. Me and Dave are going to put an appearance, so would love you to join. Tickets are still available, so sign up using the link in the show notes. Feels like the season that we're going to be seeing a lot of people. Right.
We're going to say bye-bye now for another week.
Bye, yeah. And see you next time. Next episode, who we got on, Dave?
We've got Anne Pierce, who's an amazing woman whose brother has Parkinson's as well. She thought she got away with not getting a diagnosis. He was diagnosed when he was 20. She was diagnosed a lot later. Another amazing story.
That's a cracking one. So, see you next time.
See you. Love you. Bye.
See you. Bye.
You've been listening to Two Parkies in a Pod, a Parkinson's podcast with Dave and Kuhan. To get in touch, visit the website twoparkiesinapod.com or send your voice notes or emails to hello@twoparkiesinapod.com.